What's up YouTube? I'm Wel-Don. Welcome back to the channel Wel-Don Aquatics. I am going to preface this video with, however long this video is, will just be me talking. I'm going to overlay some B-roll footage of some fish if I still have it, but I really wanted to get into this video, and this is kind of it's a follow-up video from one I made 6 months ago, maybe longer, of when I actually said that I was practically leaving YouTube and leaving the hobby altogether. Fortunately, as you know, I did not get rid of all my tanks, but in that video, it was a very heartbreaking video for me to make. Anyways, from that time I took to get my family life in a good spot, get my own mental health in a good spot, I made some decisions to rehome some fish. Now, rehoming fish isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? When we change interest, we lose interest, we find new things. I have fish that I've changed over, but there are specific fish though that I will never get rid of. One being my Maboo puffer. That guy isn't going anywhere. I'm keeping him for the long haul. But anyways, not the purpose of this video. From the time that I decided to leave YouTube, when I napped break, and I got rid of all of my fish tanks but a couple. So if you remember, I used to have a huge fish room. No, not huge. I had a nice area in my previous home that I was able to build out and make a kind of a fish room, fish area, and I had a lot of tanks going on. I had a lot of fun with it. When I decided to leave though, I broke down all of those tanks down to probably 2. I had two main tanks at the time, and there are 3 fish that I regret getting rid of for my hobbyist interest, and ones that I was really enjoying. So 3 fish that I really regret getting. One of them was my Fahaka puffer, Kiwi. I had her named Kiwi. That Fahaka puffer, before I found my Maboo puffer, was my absolute holy grail fish, dream fish, because there was no way that I thought I would ever get the chance to own a Maboo puffer. And even though, and we're in the process of getting him back into a 220 gallon tank before we need to potentially upgrade again. So that's coming this next year, going to be an awesome time. But my Fahaka puffer, I really regret selling her. I do know that she went to the president of my fish club. I actually sold her at the auction, and he was the one that took her, and I know that he still has her. Absolute beautiful puffer fish. I really regret getting rid of her. The personality of that fish, that was my first big puffer fish. Just an absolute incredible specimen. But just the excitement that I had of finding that fish and then getting that fish and just doing the crazy things I did to get that fish, really regret getting rid of my puffer fish. But I knew moving forward, at that time, I still had my 220 gallon tank, but I devoted all of my attention really to my Maboo puffer. The second fish I regret getting rid of, and this is kind of a group of fish, was my multifasciatus shell dweller, so the shellies. I started saying off the whole name, sounding smart. I don't remember it, but the multi-shell dwellers. Again, kind of a hard fish to find sometimes. My local fish store, once they sell them for like $30 a fish. I was able to find a group from a local hobbyist for about 40 bucks, and we made a full video on that of when I drove down to get them and brought them back. And again, I spent some time with those fish. And I know that the #1 fish YouTube channel, when he got them, they blew up in popularity, and I was one of those people that really wanted them. So to find those fish was awesome. Having those fish, to watch them excavate the sand. My favorite is when they pick up a Malaysian trumpet snail and throw it off the corner. I regret getting rid of those fish. Just the unique characteristics of those fish were absolutely incredible. The third fish that I regret getting, and this one kind of is right up there with my Fahaka puffer, was my flower horn, Sparta. Sparta was with me from the beginning. I had Sparta before I even had my puffer fish. Went through a lot with that flower horn, from jumping out of the tank and surviving. I mean, I bought him as a juvenile, so I really bought him when he was only like 2 inches long. You know, I grew him up to be a healthy 5-inch fish, you know, bolsterous, full of attitude. Man, that flower horn had one of the best personalities that I have ever seen in a flower horn. Not that I'm super experienced with flower horns or anything of that nature, but just, he was low grade, low quality, but the fact that I was able to find him locally from another hobbyist, bought him as a juvenile, raised him up, and spent that time with him, I really regret getting rid of my flower horn again. Just a super personable fish. So those are the 3 fish that I regret getting rid of right now in my hobby. The good news is though, and this is the happy ending to this video, this tank here behind me that is currently housing the 4 goldfish. Still need to make a full video on these guys, by the way, but my 4 beautiful goldfish that I have here in the new fish room we're building. These guys are going to get upgraded to a 150-gallon tank. Super excited for that build. I have the tank. You know, it's just like the Mabu puffer. I have the tank. I just need to build the fish room again. With this, so that means that this 40-gallon all-in-one acrylic system is going to be empty. So I bought this acrylic tank used, but I love that it's the all-in-one tank. It's the Sea Clear brand. I got this thing for like $100. So when we move the goldfish out, they're in here temporarily, we're gonna have a new space in this tank. And I've already decided that moving into the new fish room, one of the 3 fish that I regret getting rid of will be coming to this tank. Either permanently, either, you know, for a short time until we upgrade it, whatever it may be, one of the 3 fish will be coming back to this tank. So either a Fahaka puffer, the multifasciatus shell dwellers, the multi-shell dwellers, a full colony of them, or a flower horn. One of those 3 I've decided is coming back to this tank. So I'm curious, if you've been following me for a time being, you know, are you sad that I got rid of one of those fish? If you had this tank, which fish would you put in here? One of those 3, which would you put in? And which one do you think that I've already chosen to come to this tank? So guys, thank you for just, I don't know how well this video is gonna do. I don't know how many views this video is gonna do, but this is one thing I wanted to share with you. Kind of an update, but also looking to the future and looking forward of one of those 3 fish is coming to this tank. So if you're interested to see which fish I pick to come to this tank, feel free to hit the subscribe button to stay tuned, because we are starting construction on the new fish room very soon. So guys, again, I'm Trent Wel-Don with Wel-Don Aquatics. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you guys in the next one.